I'm getting technical stuff figured out, but it's not going to hold me back. No, not at all. We are still going to do noon 30 live on Friday.
And I don't understand why one go live button will work and one won't.
Well, this one is the software button, and this one is the attached hardware button, and for some reason this one isn't talking to that one.
Software, hardware.
Yeah, software, hardware, different things.
Yeah, all the things that I don't have to know because I got Clint.
Apparently, I can get by with not knowing much about it either.
I don't know.
So, welcome,
I'm excited
everybody.
Today because
You are.
I am. Well, for a couple of reasons. One is it's rally season.
Mm-hmm.
Rally season for us, and it's rally season for it's the beginning of rally season for almost everybody.
Yeah.
And I am super excited because I love rally season, and we're going to talk about rallies.
So, full disclosure, full confession, I've only done our rallies. When it comes to the RVing world, I've only done our rallies because we do 3 a year. Sometimes we've even done an off-grid camp out. So that's actually quite a bit of rallying. Mm-hmm. Have you ever attended a rally that was a true rally, not a meetup or anything, but a rally that wasn't? There was one of the larger national ones or brand ones.
Yeah.
Have you? Because I haven't.
I have been. Well, you know that we have been honored to be at UCamp every year.
I have to consider. Yeah, you've been to New
Camp. Which is a rally.
UCamp.
It is a manufacturer rally. I'd have to think of any others I've been to. I've been to A-liner rallies.
Have you?
That was my introduction into rallies. Oh man, the stories I can tell. Once I've had a few margaritas, if I start talking about the A-liner rally, it was a time. Well, first of all, I went with Luke Milla. Hi, Luke Milla, if you're watching.
Luke
You're probably
Milla.
not, but I love you. I miss you. And Luke Milla is one of those really big characters.
Denise is back. You have no idea how long it's been
Denise.
since we've seen you, Denise. A long time. Welcome back.
Hey, so she went with me, and we get there late at night, and everybody was sitting in the little meeting hall waiting to hear me talk.
Whoa, you were a guest speaker at this event.
I was just going to hang out with the A-liner folks because it was the only travel trailer we sold, and they invited me to camp with them. So off we went.
So that was early in the Princess Craft being a dealership days.
Yeah.
That was like right after Princess Craft was right after manufacturing truck campers, or just being a distributor of truck toppers.
We did truck toppers. We sold some truck campers, but then the only trailer that we sold was A-liners.
Okay, we need to celebrate. Denise,
hey!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The cancer is all gone, everybody.
Man.
Air high five, Denise.
Awesome.
So fantastic. Good news.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Man. That is just great news. All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us so we can all celebrate together.
Mm-hmm. Back to rallies.
Back to rallies, yeah. It's just after that news. Oh my gosh,
Right,
how do you get back to anything?
Talk about rallying.
Wow. But I'd never been to a rally, so I didn't know that people looked at each other's campers. I mean, that's kind of a thing.
Look at each other's campers like, ooh, wow, or with the side eye, like I'm suspicious.
No, like oh, isn't that cool? Oh, look what you did there. Oh, let me show you what I did. Because, people that camp, they do all these mods, and nobody ever sees them. So you get to the rally, you get to show everybody. So that's cool.
A lot of people, I think that their mods don't measure up to much. It's just a little thing to change their
impressed by the
lifestyle
biggest and the smallest.
A little bit, and yet it's the little tweaks that make such a difference. And you don't, and someone else is having the same problem, but maybe they haven't just really chewed on that problem as much. They know it's to the point that it's eating on them, but they haven't spent quite enough time to do something. And then they run across someone who's already got the solution.
And you know what I hear a lot is that people say, yeah, I was planning on doing this, but yours is so much better.
Right. I've definitely heard that.
Yeah. Then it's like, wow, why didn't I think of that? But my first rally, yes, after getting there late at night, we had this huge storm that I slept right through.
Wait,
and apparently,
in A-liners?
In A-liners. Apparently the rest of the camp went up to the community room to be safe for tornadoes. Nobody woke me up. I slept right through the whole thing, didn't hear a bit of it.
They aren't seasoned hardcore campers like you.
I didn't hear a bit of it. I did not wake up until they knocked on my door and said, we're all waiting to leave, and you're supposed to come look at all of our campers.
What?
There was like 60 A-liners
That's
there.
weird.
In my pajamas, I said, well, somebody better get me a cup of coffee.
That's weird.
And I grabbed a cup of coffee in my pajamas, which were pretty much sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
Right.
And I wandered around, and people waited by their camper until I could get there to see all the cool things that they had done.
Wow, they were really invested in your being there.
I know. And that was when I said, okay, rallies are cool. We need to do this. And it took me another probably 7 or 8 years to get it going.
Yeah.
Because we were probably a 4-man show at that point.
That was well before I showed up on the scene. I helped out with some early rallies before I was ever hired here. But I think that your A-liner trip must have been a little bit before that.
Maybe it was outside Canton somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere up north by Canton, Tyler area.
Okay.
But,
good area.
But you know what? That A-liner group is still going strong today.
Probably grown.
So
yeah,
really crazy.
So if you're watching us, please, Denise has already checked in, so welcome again, Denise. Anyone else who's watching us, please drop in the comments wherever you're watching, and hopefully it'll show up on my screen. Who you are and where you're watching from, and maybe weekend plans, or we're going to be talking rallies. So drop in rally experiences.
What rallies have you been to?
We need to consider.
Where have you been?
Rallies that work for you, rallies that didn't work for you, stuff like that. While we're letting people have a chance to think about that and type, are you doing any outdoorsy things coming up?
Any outdoorsy things?
Yeah.
Was that a baited question?
Well, I don't know.
You know good and well I'm going deep sea fishing next week.
I do know that you're going Cabo?
Mm-hmm.
Cabo. I know that you're going to Cabo. Apparently, I didn't know well enough to know it.
Not exactly Cabo, an hour away from Cabo,
Ish.
up in the nowhere's lands of Baja.
It's better, right?
It's so much better for
me. And then I'm going to hike with my kids Enchanted Rock tomorrow.
Ooh.
So
it's supposed to be warm.
It's supposed to be
muggy.
warm. Exactly. We nailed that one, right?
You missed that beautiful, cool weather?
Well, that was the middle of the week. I get to take them hiking on the weekend. So that's all good and well. Mm-hmm. And they need to have that experience. So Enchanted Rock in Texas, look it up. It's a great place to camp and hike, but it's mostly primitive camping and hike and camping. So you can go to an RV park. There's a bunch around there. But I think it's Texas's largest monolith, possibly the United States' largest monolith. So it's one big rock. It looks like its own bald hill, but it's one complete rock. And it's one of the largest in the world, not the largest. I think the largest is Ayers Rock in Australia.
Never heard of that.
That's one massive rock just sticking out of the ground. But Texas's version of that, a little bit smaller, is Enchanted Rock, and we're going to go climb it tomorrow.
It's a fun place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Denise, you said you haven't been to a rally yet. But you know what? I want to tell everybody, one of the great things about rallies are just the community. Mm-hmm. And we have people that come to our rallies and they don't bring a camper. They just come and stay in a cabin.
Which, by the way, Denise, there are cabins still available. We actually checked yesterday. There are cabins available at the campground for the Texas Tiny Trailer.
And they're not terribly expensive.
So you're welcome.
Anybody can come. So if you can drive yourself there, if it's nearby, anybody can go to a rally. Almost every park or campsite is going to have a cabin or some other accommodations.
Well, even if
never skip a rally or the community or the learning and the enjoying because you can't hitch up your trailer.
Let's say it's not our rally, it's any rally.
That's what I'm saying.
If it's any rally, you're going to be close by at least a small community with some accommodations as well. And we've also had that happen for our rallies where people stay in town and come in to do the rally events, and they might even do some of the neat small town events. This is where our rally is the cowboy capital of the world, and there's shows, and there's dude ranches, and there's motorcycle conventions, and there's museums, and you're real close to Texas wine country, so it makes perfect sense,
right,
to just kind of pair them all up. Make your own adventure.
Well, just have fun. If you want to go somewhere and you want to be part of a group, just sign yourself up for a rally.
Yep.
I made a list of rallies. Should we talk about some of the stuff I gathered?
I've wanted to go to the rallies in Bandera, but there have always been conflicts on your calendar. Well,
very common. We hear it all the time. Sorry, we can't be every weekend.
Yeah, a conflict being a bit of a scuffle or a fight, you should conflict them.
Stop.
Smite them.
Just stop.
Do away with them.
I'm sorry,
Denise. If you can't make one, if you can't make one of our rallies the one week, guess what we have the next week?
Another rally
in the same place, and you're welcome to that as well. Just so you know. So 2 weekends of conflicts is a bit much. So skirmish them out.
And here's the first point that I want to make about rallies. There's all kinds of rallies, like all kinds.
This way, yeah. Mine too. Okay.
Your too?
Yeah, yeah. Bandera is one of her favorite places.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, you were saying. Sorry.
This campground is one of my favorite campgrounds.
Nice people.
Actually, nice people and a nice trail and a river in the back that kind of gets you away from things. It's really cool. Of course, you do have the biker bar in the front.
4-hour tow. Ooh.
Oh, you don't need to tow. Just drive it. Get a cabin. Come on.
So, what are these rallies?
The first, when I started thinking, I wonder what the best rallies are out there, I started looking, and there's all kinds of things. So I kind of grouped them. First one is manufacturers rallies. Okay. And I thought, every manufacturer must do this, but they don't. But a lot of them do.
And to be honest, so there's manufacturers rallies, and then there's rallies that are from enthusiasts of that manufacturer's product, and they aren't exactly always the same thing.
But most of the time, they're supported one way or the other.
Sure.
I mean, if it is not put on directly by the manufacturer, and it's put on by, say, a social media person or a customer
There's
group,
some support there.
Then they put their name on it.
Take, for instance, this first one.
The A-Liner National Rally.
That's put on by the A-Liner Owners Group, right? A-Liner Owners of America?
I think so. I think it's put on by the A-Liner Owners of America. And, of course, A-Liner supports it. When you look at manufacturers' rallies, they're going to have a lot of the same things that all rallies do. They're going to have a little bit of education, a little bit of social stuff, some fun things to do, usually very family-friendly. Yeah. Which you would think you wouldn't have to mention that, but these are RVers, so sometimes.
They do imbibe.
So the manufacturers' rallies are nice because usually you get to meet people from there, you get to meet reps, and they usually take an array of new product for you to look at. So you get to see maybe the new A-liners or some of the other manufacturers that are known for their rallies are Airstream, of course, Winnebago, Grand Design, the Forest River Rally. They call it the Frog Group for Forest River Owners Group. So there's the Frog Rally. UCamp is the big new camp rally that is super cool. I mean, it sells out in 10 minutes kind of thing. So all of those are done by manufacturers, and so usually you have an opportunity then to either see factories if they're near the factories, some of them are, or to see all the new products that are coming out and to talk to people about them. Because that's your best customer for the manufacturer is going to be the people who already own them. So they want to show off what they got. And
so a few that didn't make your list that are maybe a little bit more in the more overlanding area crowd or venture trailer crowd, Taxa, they have their rallies. They're, I don't know if they have one national, but they have a few scheduled throughout the U.S. throughout the year. Turtleback, they have their huddles. So that's another really off-road one. It's pretty cool.
A lot of manufacturers will have local owners groups, and they'll have a rally, which is different than the big national rally. But still, really nice to go to and to be around people who have the same product.
And then there's the big national style, not necessarily brand one. Maybe you have. We'll get to that later because
I got all kinds of things.
I don't want to skip ahead.
So anyway, if you have a brand that you love, check and see if they have a rally because They're usually in the summer. A-liners, I think you figured out was in July, June.
June 12 through 18. But it's such a big event that they actually have a pre-rally, if you will, the whole week beforehand. I don't know what that entails. I just looked up the dates, and there's like 2 sets of dates. There's like a pre-rally, and then there's the rally at large. The rally at large is 12 through 18.
But one of the things I noticed in all the manufacturers' rallies is that they generally last 4 or 5 days, and they are in the summer. Mm-hmm. Not all rallies are in the summer, but the manufacturer rallies are always June, July, August. Mm-hmm. So that's, if you have kids, that makes it easier. If you don't have kids, it doesn't really matter. Yep. And you know what? Some of them, like I mentioned, the New Camp Rally, UCamp, they now have rallies all over the country. Mm-hmm. Mandy and Kendrick put on their rallies now. So that's something that is becoming a get-together moment of people that you follow.
Intech Flyers have annual rally now, and I haven't attended yet. And I've been in 3 different formats of flyers. I should go to that. I should go.
You've had every flyer they make, haven't you?
Except for the unicorn.
The Chase.
I haven't had the Chase, and the original Discover that had the twin axles. I didn't have that one.
Don't need that one. Everybody gets a mistake every now and then, right? Okay, so there are manufacturer rallies, and I think they're fun, but and the next thing I put down was dealership rallies, but it's really hard to find dealership rallies. I've known of a few dealerships that had campouts for their customers. Very few of them have full-blown rallies. I don't know why we do. Probably because when I started, I didn't know any better, and I thought it'd be fun to have a rally for everybody, and let's all just get together.
Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. It was a mistake, but it was a fun one, so we keep
and we're not stopping. We are not stopping. So yeah, so it's really tough. You might ask if there's campouts at your dealership, particularly if they're nearby. But what really is on the rise now, what really is happening in the rally world is that
this category,
people who have similar interests are getting together. And the internet has made this possible, really, to be so widespread. Mm-hmm. And I think it's so cool. I mean, when you think of rallies, what's the first thing you think of? Do you think
besides ours,
a couple of rallies?
Besides ours, I think
because we have to think about that almost every week.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that I want to attend are, I do want to attend the Intech, but that's a brand. I really, on my radar has been the Overland rallies.
Overland Expos.
Overland Expos, which are massive, and they're kind of regional, but the big one is Overland West. Different dates, different times of year.
Yeah, they are on my list here, and they have West, Mountain West, East, and I think there's one other. And
there's some smaller ones too. And here in Texas, we even have the Texas Avid Outdoors Overland Rally in Llano, which I have been to. You've been to.
So it is Overland, but it isn't technically an Overland Expo.
Right.
Trade name.
Right. It's more of it's a little closer to rally. Yeah. And so what it is you don't have just one brand of product or whatever, and the discussions aren't necessarily all one brand. It's more lifestyle. It's like you got Overland truck campers, Overland Jeepers, Overland vanners, Overland adventure trailers. You have people who overland and still sleep in a tent. You have everyone together surrounded about the overlanding, which is just vehicular-based travel, generally off the main roads.
And when we went to the Overland one here, the Texas Avid Outdoors, I only was there for the afternoon, but everybody kind of kept to their groups in that rally. I don't know if that's common.
I don't know either.
But it felt very like, oh yeah, you can look at the stuff we put out on our table, but it didn't seem to have quite the social component. But
it was like a big hangout.
That may happen at night.
Yeah, I think that was a big hangout.
It's more of a hangout.
Yeah.
I do know at the Overland Expos there's tons of product to look at. Everybody who makes something that's useful in the overlanding community is going to be there showing you what they have. And it isn't like a big fancy booth. I mean, these are guys in their, their hiking sandals and they're going to have their ponchos on if it's raining, and they're going to be out there building that fire, showing you how their gear works.
Right.
I mean, they are not. It is not a show and tell. It's a working event.
Right.
And really, really cool. I can't wait. There also is manufacturers there.
Sure.
So kind of fun to see rigs, what's out there. I want to go too. It's one I want to do.
I think you flipped over and skipped a few.
I did. And there's a van life one too I wanted to mention, just because it's really popular. Open Roads Van Life Festival. And again,
I think that one would be on my radar too, because those things they're super innovative. I think that would go because of the innovation I'm certain I would see.
Yeah. Well, and it's in Idaho, so you have to, it's not like you're driving by or most people are going to be around the corner.
Right.
So for some reason, I think of Idaho kind of like Montana. It's not just heavily populated.
That's fair.
I mean, I can't even think of any city in Idaho. Can you? Do you know a city in Idaho?
I'm sure if I thought about it, but when you asked me about it, no. Potato, Idaho.
So it would be really fun to kind of go camp out and be part of that group.
Boise?
So they're going to have workshops. They have, of course, all the social stuff. But there's a lot of hiking and outdoors things to do there. Mountain bikes, kayaking, all the stuff.
Can we just say these places that people that are not well populated and may not have all the services, go there because they're beautiful? Because they are?
And it's a adventurist's paradise.
Montana, you said.
Absolutely.
Idaho, absolutely. Some of these places
to go. And if you have a van, part of what you want to do is camp somewhere off the grid, go out there, have an adventure, and so they probably get together at places that have adventures nearby.
Right. Before we go on, I see 7 people watching with us today. So I see
7.
Denise, but
goodness.
6. So I said it, and 6, and we're down 6. Whoever is online with us right now, do me a favor and just put something in the comments.
Tell us who you are and where you are.
One reason I want to do this
things.
from a practical standpoint is so I know that I'm not being watched by bots. That I actually have actual humans on the other side. So
you know what?
Whoever you are, wherever you are, just even if it's a emoji or a smiley or something.
I will just tell you, I learned a lot in looking at the rallies that we could talk about. So if no one watches, I am still excited to think about this and learn it and know it. And if even 1 or 2 people have any spark that goes off on a rally, we've done our job.
Okay. Pick it up where you are.
Look, there's a million of them. Do not get escapees and escapers mixed up.
Why? Why can't you get why would it be bad to mix those up?
Well, escapees, they meet in Tennessee, they have a big rally, and of course, it's going to have all the seminars, all the social events.
They've been around a long time.
All the things, and escapees are basically the group that helps people become full-timers.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So that's what escapees is. It's just a great community. Escapers annual event. So I'm going to read you what it says.
Okay, this is the other group.
Okay.
So escapees is spelled like escapees. Ex-capers is this other one. Scapers. Ex-scapers annual event. Go ahead.
So it's in Lake Havasu, which that's your first tip off, right?
Havasu.
Lake Havasu is like.
Would you like a Sioux? Havasu.
It's like the resort capital to me. Is it just north of Phoenix?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
It's over there, but anyway, Lake Havasu. I've been there, and it was awesome. It was a resort. Everything was glitzy and in the middle of the desert. Tons of fun things to do, and they say this isn't your grandma's rally, although grandmas are welcome. So they have theme nights, they have music, they have...
This is your party rally.
Margarita throwdowns, and they say it is well worth the rally hangover.
All right, so
there you go. That is the Escapers annual event.
Is this the Parrot Club of rallies?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Is that what they call the group that parrot heads?
Oh,
the Jimmy Buffett kind of.
I can't imagine how much alcohol would be there.
I bet it's similar. I think that's kind of that category of rally.
Well, I bet there isn't a Jimmy Buffett RV rally. Thank goodness.
No, he would have a boat rally, don't you think?
That's right, a yacht rally.
Yeah. Full-on
I don't
yacht
think that
rock.
exists. I just don't think that. No, it would not be yacht rock. Okay. But the one thing I did see is that the prices on both of those start at $250 a piece. So rallies, when you get to these groups, they're not free usually. Some of them are, but most of them you pay and you attend. So how about Alumapalooza?
Alumapalooza, where you celebrate metal.
Aluminum trailers. Yes. Because there's a lot of them, and it's pricier. It's in September, and
it has to be
$515 for 2 people.
It has to be pricier because it looks like a sea of Airstreams. Just walking through the county, your bills
the
go
events,
up.
the social, the music, the fun. If you really love that style of camper, then well worth it.
But
well worth it.
They do say you don't have to have an Airstream or aluminum camper, just like we say.
They do.
If you
they
just
say
like
anybody
them.
can come, and I think that's so cool.
And why not?
Because
Why not?
okay, maybe that debunks the myth that Airstream people are just a little on the snobby side.
I don't think it debunks
They're
that
a
at all.
little bit on the side that maybe their camper is better
No,
than
look
yours.
at the price per person. This is like a sorority or fraternity trying to recruit. You have to
have to
pay
pay
to
it.
visit
Okay.
for them to recruit
Well,
you.
I will tell you, I think Airstreams are beautiful.
They are. They're
And
great.
I know tons of people who have Airstreams who don't have a pretentious bone in their body. So, nothing personal. Not for me. Maybe this guy.
How could you? All right, what do you got next?
Elite Restoration Boot Camp. I mean,
That sounds like
I want to
coursework.
go.
What?
Okay,
Elite?
I want to go. Yeah, and it really is.
Is it like a hands-on
classroom-
thing?
Yes, classroom and hands-on. But you're hanging out with all these people who are doing the same thing.
Pulling
Wouldn't that
splinters
be
out of the
fun?
fingers,
Wouldn't that be fun?
getting calluses.
I don't know. I just think it would.
Denise
be fun.
says Airstreams are nice but heavy.
Yeah, they
true.
are.
It's true, which is one reason why they tow so smoothly. It's
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like lightweight trailers because anyone can tow them, but sometimes that mass helps it to just be nice
Hug
and
the road.
yeah.
It's got that nice
Stable.
curved front, so it's aerodynamic and
Yep.
just rides right along
And
behind
every
you.
hailstorm dent is a story to tell.
So there is also a full-time families rally.
That's
a
a big one. That's a growing one.
It is because so many families are taking to the road. Now they may
Yeah.
not be permanently on the road forever, but a lot of families are taking a year off and
Right.
or just checking it out or just going for the summer.
So that's
I
obviously a
think that-
family-friendly one.
Yes, family friendly. There probably is not a margarita throwdown. What do you think?
Who knows? Who knows?
A
But
few bottles of wine after the kids go to bed.
that would be a great one as a resource one. If you want to learn how people as
Yeah.
families do what they do, that's where you learn from people who have really invested in full time with kids.
Now, there's 2 really big rallies groups that I want to mention.
Okay.
And they are not like any specific group, but honestly, I think if you had a group of like-minded people, just get together at a campsite. That's a rally, right?
Sure, why not?
It's hard to find people who are like you. So that's one reason I like going to rallies. You get to meet other people and find the ones that are like you. So the two that are huge, FMCA, and they do different rallies in different places.
Family
But
Motor Coach Association? Is that what it stands for?
F,
I'm thinking F.
I-
Fun Motor Coach Association?
I was sure of this until you asked me.
Farmers Mechanics Camping Association?
How can we be in the RV business and not know this? It might be
I
family.
think
Motor
it's
Coach.
FMCA. It's short for FUMCA.
Well, Google it, don't you? Oh no.
Yeah, I can do
Your
it. Here,
computer
you
is
talk.
busy.
You talk things. I'll
So FMCA rallies, they are geared a lot towards motorhomes. They do have other things, but a lot of the motorhome people really like them.
Family Motor Coach Association. I had it right
Okay,
the
there
first
you
time,
go.
but it was more entertaining after that.
Yes, and of course, because it is a motor coach rally, But I think it's really cool, and I didn't know this until I looked it up.
Big rally.
They're huge, huge. But they do, and they're about $225 per couple, so not outrageous. But they do have classes beforehand. They have an RV Basics Academy the week before the rally, and they also have a driving school. So what are the 2 reasons people are worried about buying, particularly a motorhome or even a trailer? They don't know enough about how it works.
Maintenance and usage.
And they just don't feel like they know anything about it or enough. And towing it or driving it.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
2 main obstacles, and they cover both of them right before the rally starts. So I think that's super cool.
Incredibly large event. It's big enough that they bring in top acts to perform, like music artists and all that.
Oh, yeah, it's huge. And then let's talk about courtside.
Courtside.
I have never been there. I might want to go just to say I've been there, but wow, it's like huge, like a million people.
It's the party on the playa. It's a big desert.
It's party on the playa. Yes. So, I mean, there's everything there. There will be social events, there'll be calendars, there'll be seminars, there'll be workshops, there'll be demonstrations.
There'll be sunburns.
There'll be new products to see. There will be sunburns. There will be probably cold desert weather at night. I don't know. I've never been there. I mean, there'll be people selling products. You'll get to see a million things out there. It will be like a giant RV show plus camping. I mean, just huge. So if you want to be a part of one of the biggest RV events in the country,
it's going to be one of those
courtside
two. Courtside or FMCA. Those have got
and
to be the
FMCA
biggest.
is really particular for people who want a motorhome.
Right. Okay.
It's going to be more geared to that.
Yeah.
So, I got one more thing to talk about. I didn't plan to talk the whole time, but I was so excited when I started looking at rallies. Do you know where the very first rally was? I mean, noted rally. I'm sure, hey, let's go camping. What constitutes a rally? But that was called a rally is Tin Can Tourists.
Is that still going?
Tin Can Tourist is still a thing. Yes, and you can join their club. You can get a membership. Tin Can Tourist is basically a club that started about 1915, 1910, somewhere in there, when campers were basically teardrops and tin cans. So, yeah.
So Denise has a question. Rallies versus RV shows, similarities and differences.
Oh.
Well, I mean, the biggest one is rallies focuses on people bringing and showing and camping, and it's focused more on not the buying, purchasing, or showing of new products and all that. An RV show is
although that's at some rallies.
I mean, yeah, it's a mix. It's more like where the priority is. The priority of rallies is the people themselves, I think, and the families themselves and the lifestyle. Whereas RV shows, the focus is primarily showing off manufacturers' new wares and all that. You can certainly camp around these things, but
well, I think it's a rally just means everybody is camping together, and then the events are around that community, whether they're like seminars that you can take or events in the evening to get together and socialize. All of those things. There may be product to see, but it is geared around everybody camping together. Whereas an RV show, there is no camping there. The RV show really is bringing a whole bunch of product, putting it in a space, and you pay a ticket to go look at all of it. It has nothing to do with the actual camping part. Sometimes these kind of meld together, like FMCA, but not always. Not always. In the larger venues, yeah, manufacturers will want to take advantage of the crowd, and they'll bring product. So it does happen. I hope that's helpful. If you just want to go camping and get together with people, you want to look for a rally, not an RV show.
Right.
If you want to just go see a gazillion campers, you want a show.
There you go.
So I don't know. I think I started thinking, why are rallies so cool?
Did you find an answer?
I mean, I guess we've probably talked about it. I think it's always nice to meet people who enjoy the things you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And, almost everybody's nice at a rally.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to say everybody. We have had some experiences, but almost every, and even then it was just some frustration.
Yeah, maybe we should speak to that briefly. Guys, if you're going to be grumpy, don't bring that mojo.
Don't bring it to a rally. Everybody's there to have fun. And when you're camping, you can't control everything.
Yeah.
You just can't control.
All right, Travels with Delaney. Welcome. Good to see you again. We loved getting to go to UCamp. So much fun meeting everyone and lots of great food. That's the point. You met them the first time.
Yes.
At UCamp.
Yeah, remember when I had this nice little microphone set up and we crowded in their little camper and I inconvenienced them and did this wonderful recording of a podcast, and then there was nothing there when I got home? I remember that. I remember meeting them and looking so foolish.
No,
but it's okay.
You two have been involved in other rallies since UCamp. Something that I think you've even kind of hosted in a way, shape, or form. So you're rally veterans at this point.
And I think they also do some meetups, and meetups are just a rally in a very small setup where a handful of people camp together and there's no agenda. I think that's really cool too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So do you have any favorite part of UCamp? My favorite part is when the sun goes down and sitting by the campfire with people I don't know.
All right, so they host Travels with Delaney campouts every year. If you don't already follow the Travels with Delaney channel on YouTube, go on. They're friends of ours. We can vouch for them. They've been on the podcast a few times. They've purchased a trailer here at Princess Craft. So they're basically family at this point. So swing on over to the Travels with Delaney YouTube channel. Subscribe, give them a like, but also find out when their campout is. Because they are also a resource on how to do it and really have a blast. So there you go.
And you know what? We also want to shout out to Mandy's site.
And so those are new camp specific rallies, but Mandy, Lee,
but we have
and
so
Kendrick,
many new camp people.
It's true. They you're going to have to go to Mandy Lee's website because I can never nail down where she is because she runs these things all over the country. But they're all well sorted out.
If you Google it, you'll find it. And that's one of the things I wrote down. Find a rally near you, and it's pretty easy. All you need to do is make sure the Google location thing is on your phone so it knows where you are.
Right.
And then just search RV Rallies near me. You'll be surprised. I was surprised what came up in my area. Some I had never heard of that happened around me. And you know what? They don't have to be 100 people there. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It's a get-together, and they're inviting anyone who wants to join them. So I think it's a valuable resource for so many people to just get out there and make friends.
I remember drinking bourbon around a fire at UCamp with Mandy and Kendrick. Couldn't keep up. No.
Oh, no.
No, you can't.
Don't ever try.
No, you can't.
That's not ever try.
They're seasoned and they're professionals, and we're all but amateurs.
That's right. That is so true. But you know what? The other thing that I really like about rallies is you get to solve problems. Somebody is going to have an answer to the problem that
Rubik's Cube,
somebody
crossword
is going to
puzzles.
have that problem in the past. I mean, things like, I can't get
Aldi systems. That's enough. An Aldi system.
I mean, just anything, any problem. Whether it's I need more counter space. I mean, somebody's going to have some cool thing that's going to work, or just anything. Storage things, or appliances that aren't working right. Somebody's going to be able to help you. I think that's very cool at rallies.
Absolutely.
So just nice to hang around with people that are like you. So I hope that inspired somebody to sign up for a rally.
Inspired me.
Even if it's not ours.
I'll get on to looking at a rally after we're hiking Enchanted Rock tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
New rallies. We should go to new rallies.
Yeah, great music jam sessions at UCamp. Yeah, it's all acoustic instruments and all whatnot.
That's true. And we have Bob Apple. yeah, shout out to Bob Apple. Thank you so much for playing for all of our rallies. So it's so much fun.
You ready?
I am ready, guys. My coffee's gone. I have done my time, and I hope somebody is inspired to join a rally.
There you go. Thank you so much for joining us. Check out the latest episode of the RV Small Talk podcast on your podcast player of choice. Do please go into Apple Podcasts, even if you never use them. Go online and just rate and review. That helps us out. And we'll hopefully have Lindsay back next time.
Yep.
So we will join up with you later.